Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fusion Podcast, the destination where you can connect with professionals in all aspects to enhance your day-to-day life and your future. You will be enlightened with 15 to 30-minute interviews with these professionals, followed with a DJ theme set to brighten up your day. Excited for our journey together here at Fusion Podcast. Welcome to the family, and now presenting to you, yours truly, your host, myself, Andrea Arenas Vasquez, also known as Ace Fusion. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to episode number 8. Today, another day, we have another special guest here with Michael Pina, an amazing individual. You do not want to miss this. Again, just make sure to stay tuned for this whole episode because you're about to be inspired and your life will change just listening to this amazing story that literally has inspired me in so many ways. Michael Pina, how are you today?
Hello.
We have a lot of listeners here at Fusion Podcast. How you doing today? How's everything?
I'm doing so well. So grateful to be here with you, with all these listeners. Thank you. Thank you for having me and sharing space.
Of course, I'm really excited to have you here because I know you have such a powerful story that together we can change lives. Together we can help others that may be in the same situation. Can you share with us? I know that you dance, you have amazing projects with human resources. You have been you do it all. You're like, you have it all. Tú lo haces todo. And I know you are someone that I can count on if I ever wanted emotional support and be there for me. And you bring that liveness when you're dancing. Can you share with us a little bit more than that dancer that we see, that fierceness, that actitud, good positive vibes, caliente, picante. Can you tell us a little bit more about how that came about? I know you're one of my favorite queers in the whole dance community. So the mic is yours. You go ahead and share with us, enlighten us, and let us know who you are.
Yes. Thank you, Ace. I, once again, major gratitude to be here, to be able to speak more about the facial expressions and what it takes to walk a day and to walk in my shoes. Bum, bum, bum. So I'm from Boston. My father's Dominican. Dominicano.
¡Huepa! ¡Hoy se bebe!
Hoy se bebe. Or not.
Agua. ¿Viste?
And so I grew up in Jamaica Plain, Boston, Mass, with 3 older brothers and 1 younger sister. My father was not really my story as much as my mother was. But for me, my story and who I am is really a lot about powerlessness. Somebody who felt terminally unlovable, somebody who was always too different than everybody else. And so much so that I would discount myself from being seen, right? I was so different that you could never see me. And so when I bring that face or that attitude to the much, something that I know so well, that now I'm able to give you all of me. And that is including my facial expressions. That is including all of me. What you see on the dance floor performing is somebody who's rehearsed, practiced, and knows something so well that now you get to see the deepest parts of me. And you're going to see that in my face, in my body, how big I am, how small I am. I don't care. We're going to dance and you're going to feel me because I've worked hard for this. And that rings true in my life and my experiences and the things I've been through.
Wow. So I was really touched and inspired. I know you came over to Amargue Fusion, the previous event that my previous partner and I hosted, that you were just one of everyone's favorite performers out there. And I remember digging a little bit deep and just wanting to get to know who is this amazing person. So I did a little bit of stalking, and I saw your powerful journey.
We call that research.
Yes.
We call
I was so interested in knowing who you were that I was just like,
Research.
yes, I was like, who is this phenomenal individual? And I started to dig deep. I'm like, I want to get to know this Spears. And then I saw this transition that that picture will never leave my mind, because I just know that someone as beautiful as you to have gone through that journey of transformation, body transformation, is must have been really hard, but at the same time so rewarding when you got to the position that you are now. And I'm sure you're still working on that, because it's an everyday lifestyle that you entered. Can you tell us a little bit about that transition, and what was when was the moment where you were like, it clicked for you, like you needed to make a change for yourself, and because I know that you did it for you, and just enlighten us, because I know not a lot of people know that, because all they see is the recent posts that you make. So
Yeah.
please share us that transformation. It was, my heart beats fast and I get goosebumps just seeing that transformation. If you could share that with us, and if someone's dealing with the same position that you were in, share with us, please. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? I think that going through any type of transformation in life, regardless of it's your weight, your body, a problem, it takes a lot. It all really comes from a lot of the same places, you know. I am somebody who's always fix a feeling with a feeling. I like to feel better about something that's going on, so I ate. Ever since I was a little kid, these were the coping mechanisms that I used to feel better about what was going on. I was never a mean or angry kid, but what I would do is that I'd eat so I can feel better. Like what some kids do with anger, I did with food. It was my way of coping with life. And growing up, I kept those coping mechanisms going. Like I remember wanting to be an adult so bad. And not because like what other people may think of adult. I wanted to be an adult so bad because I was like, oh, I'll be able to buy my own candy. Like,
Wow.
like I'll be able to like buy my own candy. And I just, for me, food was always an escape. Food for me was my first addiction, and I really leaned into it. I ended up weighing over 400 pounds.
Wow.
At the age of 17. And I was one of the youngest people in Massachusetts at that point to get the gastric bypass. So for those of you that don't know, the gastric bypass is when they cut your stomach and they basically make it smaller so that you physically cannot eat more than a certain amount anymore. I was extremely young. They wrote in the newspaper all this stuff about me because I was so young, and it wasn't as popular as it is now, the surgery. Needless to say is that after I got the surgery, sometime after, I fell into other addiction, and all of the work that was done with that was undone, and I ended up gaining even more weight than what I weighed before. And now surgery was not an option, and I had to do the work on my own. And so for the past year and a half, now I've lost a little bit over 200 pounds on my own. And on my own, I just mean that by surgery, because I, in terms of on my own, I don't do much on my own. I need support, love, and everything from those around me, my community. But I have done it without surgery. Shout outs to all those who have surgery, who have gotten surgery, because it is a tool when used responsibly.
Right.
I didn't know how to use it responsibly when I had it. So now I work on these behaviors on my own, and I've been successful in losing a little bit over 200 pounds.
Wow.
Which has been great.
Mikey. Mr. Piña.
Como la fruta.
Como la fruta, ya tú sabes, pero, ay, mi corazón, tanta experiencia that you're sharing with me right now, that I'm just really like, I'm just grateful. And thank you for sharing that here at Fusion Podcast. I know it takes a lot of courage, and it takes a little bit being uncomfortable you know, but I know that someone out there right now listening is probably like, oh wow, lifesaver, you're sharing something that I'm struggling with, whatever addiction that someone may be struggling with, because addiction's everywhere. Many of us may have that one addiction that we may not even know that it's an addiction, you know. And I just want to thank you so much for sharing again. And a lot of
Yeah.
people, they want to lose weight. Some people just want to lose 20 pounds. And can you share what was your why, and why do you think that you didn't give up? What was the root of why you started that journey? Because I know that you shared that, you pretty much shared with us that it was, you know, that's the only option you had, right?
Yeah.
But I know there was more to it, more passion, something that you were like, you know what, enough is enough. Because a lot of people, when you want to make change, you have to get mad about wanting to become different and wanting that change. So I want to know, what were you mad about? Because I know someone out there listening that wants to lose weight but has not gotten mad. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
So
hear you.
what's that point? I want you to get to that point, because that to me is one of the most important things, one of the tools that someone can listen to and be like, oh, aha, that's what I need to, the mindset, the mind shift. Because it's more than just getting up in the morning. You have to have that mind shift change, and that heart to really get up and do it. Can you share
Yeah,
with us, what was that mind shift change for you?
absolutely. For me, Ace, do you know what it feels like to wake up from your bed and uh, not feel your arms, and to physically put your other arm on the arm that you can't feel, and be able to touch your skin without knowing that you're touching your skin, without feeling that. Um, my blood was not going through my body anymore while I was sleeping because I had sleep apnea. I was slowly killing myself. I was slowly dying. And I would wake up and have to wait 15 minutes to feel my body, all the parts of my body again. Um, Pain is a great motivator, you know. When I was ready to make the change, I made the change. Family, and especially in the Latinx culture, ay, mijo, tú estás muy gordo, hoy something, you're too fat, you're too this, you're, let me tell you that absolutely none of that helped me, or did anybody ever say something productive that actually was like, oh yeah, you're right, let me change. What made me want to change was me. What I noticed in myself is what you're telling me also. So now I just felt bad about me, you know, and um, what led me to lose the weight and to change my life, because the weight is the weight, but what led me to change my life and to change my behaviors was that I wanted to live today. I wanted to live, and I had to give myself that chance to live. That was not, oh, I'm going to start on Monday, or I'm going to start on Tuesday. That's like, Michael, if you want to live, you start right now. You start right now. And it was little things for me, little things, little monuments along the way that I was able to say, like, okay, like getting out of my bed and being able to stand on my own 2 feet and like feel a lightness in myself. I'm like, oh my God, girl, you could walk. Like you could walk. And like little by little, it's like, girl, you could dance a little bit. Like you, or like I I I started doing little things that like let me know what living was like. And once I got a taste of that, I wanted more. And I wanted every day to give myself the opportunity to live. So I get better. I learn how to do different exercises. I learn how to eat different. And I give myself a chance. That's really what it's like. That's where my pain brought me.
Wow. Sorry, I had to take a little quick moment there, because I felt that I felt that a lot when you said pain really makes you want to change. And I really could connect with you right now on a different level, because definitely I can say pain does make people change, and pain does make you want to open doors that you've never opened up before. And I appreciate you saying that, because anybody listening out there right now, um, you may have that opportunity that the pain is not as bad. But to be honest, that's sometimes the only way where our minds just function. And they're like, Ace or Michael, get up. You need to do this for you. You need to get up, or, for me, hey, you need to start being more emotional. Get up, go seek therapy, go seek a professional, And I'm just
Yeah.
like, right now, I'm just like, this is so 100% true. And that's why I could connect with you in such a level right now, because it's 1,000% true, when we're faced with ourselves in such a way that we're feeling so much pain and all of the feelings, then you have no choice but to do it. And for anybody out there dealing with any type of transformation, um, as Michael could, attest to this, that it's not going to be an easy road. And there's going to be times where you just, may want to go back to how things were, because being comfortable is sometimes easier to be. But when you get uncomfortable and then you start getting results, that's when you're going to start seeing the change. And for me, that's been such a way of living too, coming from a military background and coming from from a painful childhood, I can really see how pain has really made me grow into the human being that I am,
Yeah.
and it really just makes me a better human being every day, that I'm like, you know what, no matter the pain, I want to be good for the world and do something positive every day, which is the reason why Fusion Podcast came alive, to bring amazing people like you here and share such a powerful story. Addiction is something that is not really talked about, and it's really put down by some people, or the conversations just like they just sweep it under the rug. And I feel like it's amazing to just hear stories like yours, and it really
Yeah.
puts us in a place where it's just like, you know what, this is safe. I really need to look at myself. What are some things that I may be addicted to and things like that? But I have a question for you. I know that the addiction you had, how did that, as a queer person, how did that add or subtract into your life, that you were like, you know what, this is something on top of what I already feel, just being queer, just being different? And did that motivate you too, or did that put you down, or how was that connect, trying to find yourself? Because I know being queer is not easy. And I'm going to say it from my perspective, men have it the worst. Non-binary men just growing up just have it the worst. And transgender, and just speaking from, I would want to be open about this. How were you able to just deal with that? What are some tools? What are some resources? What are some things you did outside of just really, getting up and doing it? Because I know there must have been something that a resource that you use. I don't know. Did you go to therapy? Did you do something to help you emotionally? Did you go to a friend? Please tell us what you did, because I know this will help me as well as a human being. And I know others out there listening right now could use some resources, or maybe potentially you could give us some tips about how did you make that happen?
Yeah. I uh, so for me it scales back. I grew up where being gay was really was not okay, my brothers would like teach me how to man up, and I remember for me, I always used to love going to mommy's room and putting on her jeans and like swinging my head around like I had long hair, like I was Gloria Trevi. and that was just never something that was okay in the house. I grew up in a church, in a church that was very condemning towards gay people. And I remember the senior leaders of the church pulling me and my mother away and telling her that I walked too effeminate, that I made the brother struggle, that I talked too effeminate, that like basically. And I remember sitting there mortified because these people were basically saying a truth about myself that I was not ready to say yet. And they were saying that it was wrong, that I was wrong, and that was me. That was me. So when they saw me, they were saying that I was wrong, and it was painful. For me, my addiction helped me cope with all those things. And let me just make sure that I'm very clear here, that my addiction with food and my addiction to alcohol are both one and the same. I'm an addict through and through. When I have the surgery and they no longer said that you can eat more than this amount of food, there's something clinically called transferred addictions. What that means is that your body can physically no longer handle this addiction, but because mentally you haven't worked on yourself, you transfer to another addiction. So that way you still are fixing a feeling with a feeling, because that's what an addiction is. And so when I gave up food, my behaviors and the way that I worked were seeking to look for another addiction so that I can feel better about my circumstances, and that became alcohol. So when the church told me that I could no longer go there because I was gay, because of who I was, or no longer accepted me as part of their congregation, I no longer knew who I was. And I found that in the bottom of a bottle. I would continue drinking, hoping that I could find God in that bottle. And it was hard for me because I did not know who I was. The drinking led me to homeless, to just the most disgusting things that you can imagine in your head, and to wanting to die. I almost died twice. I had acute pancreatitis. It was very messy. I've been clean now for over 3 years. I haven't had a drink or used any substances in over 3 years, since July 4th, 2017. But I'll tell you that as a queer person, living in these truths, having to figure out who I am, what I enjoy, the things that make me feel seen, it's been a process of self-love, figuring out, exploring, and letting myself know that it's okay to be exactly who I am, because that was not told to me at a young age. And unfortunately, I had to go through a lot of trial and error to figure out what I know now as a 33-year-old man, that it's okay to be just who I am. And I have to remind myself that in every single day and in every single space, and that in every single where that is told to me that people like me cannot exist, I have to remind myself that it's okay to be exactly who I am, because I have fought for years to allow myself to live happy. And like, as a gay Latinx man, it's important for me to carve my own space, to be the thermostat in the room and say, nah, bitch, I set the weather in here. You don't set it for me.
Correct.
I am my own standard, and I paved the way. And when I'm able to go into spaces that the road has been carved for me, like this, a space that you're able to provide for people to like come in and speak, like Tina, who on Next Level, she created a team that allows you to be who you are. It allows me to go somewhere and literally do this. Ready? It allows me to do this. It literally allows me to breathe in, breathe out, and just be, because I don't have to carve anything.
And deeply, I think people need to get the point that you just did. You took a deep breath and you let it out. Which a lot of times we're not able to do that because we're so busy taking short breaths, because we're trying to survive these comments, trying to survive how we're quote unquote meant to be. So that's super powerful. But was there any other tools that you use to be able to be you right now, or anything like that, or anything like, did you go to meetings? What kind of support did you use? Because I know for people who, for myself, I have my, I'm seeking therapy for the first time in my life, for my own childhood trauma, for my own things that I know that I need to heal, right? And I just want to know, what did you do to be in the position that you are now? You look, you're strong, you're powerful, you understand that you have felt fear, but now fear won't stop you from entering the room and owning yourself, owning who you truly are, and letting people know, I'm here and I'm gonna be me.
Yeah. Yeah, I've worked, for me, it's been a lot about like working on my behaviors, and that has been through meetings. So a 12-step program for me has been very, very helpful. Um, Therapy has been extremely helpful for me.
Right.
I know that therapy is something that is very, you know, it's stigmatized in a lot of ways. And for me, it was like, I don't give a fuck what people say anymore. I'm done having to care what other people, let me tell you something. What other people have to say about me is none of my business. That is their thoughts on me. I have no control over that.
Say it
So
louder. Say it
me
louder.
lavo las manos. I wash my hands. You can say whatever you want about me. That's okay. That doesn't mean it's true. And if that's your truth, then that's awesome. But it's not mine to hold. So I do therapy because it helps me. And anything that helps me, I'm here for. I exercise regularly because that's super important for me. I build networks of people and friends and just around me that support me. And I encourage myself to do things that I never thought I would have. Let me tell you, in a recovery house, in the first floor of an all men's recovery house, and mind you, these guys are from different walks of life. I put on a full head of hair, I put on makeup, I put on a whole dress, and I
Wow.
did drag for the very first time. Why?
Wow.
Because I wanted to. And I had people around me that loved me, Tina
Yes.
Cavicchio,
Yes.
right
Yes.
next to me, supporting me and like allowing me to like be. And so it's really about like surrounding yourself around people, opportunities, and the resources that you need to be the best you,
Wow.
period. Period. It's nobody else's, you said this, it's nobody else's responsibility to heal your ass. You got to heal your ass because we've
Mm-hmm.
been through this and you know what you need better than anybody else. Once you open your mouth and you say it, then come here. We got you. We
Right.
got you. We'll take care of you.
Right.
And
Wow.
you gotta love on you. You gotta love on you.
Yes. Wow. That was just so much amazing tools and just resources and the experience that you shared with us about how that all came about, because now we can see how everything just revolved back to about finding yourself, wanting to really heal, and just getting into that moment that you knew that you needed to get up and start making changes, and you took action. And
Yeah.
right now, one thing that I can see from all of this is that you've always taken action after everything you've been through, from the weight transformation to the addiction to the other addiction. There was action involved and behind everything that you did. So all the listeners out there, just want you to just really, I know you all probably wondering, and if you've never or never known who Michael Pina is, please just know right now. I really would love for you to share how people could find you if they ever wanted to ask you questions or use your support, emotional support from you, because I know that just talking to you, and I feel safe. So if there's anybody that wanted to take classes with you or possibly collab with you, work with you, I know you're working on human resources projects. How could they reach you for those resources that you use to overcome all of the, all of this, everything you've been through? So how could people reach you, and how could they find your dance videos? Can you share with us, please?
Yes, absolutely. They can catch me on MySpace, on Grinder, on sorry. Um, ha, you can find me on Christian Mingles. Me, what up? No, I'm joking. But for real though, if anybody's out there single and looking, so you can find me on Instagram, Thorned Pineapple, and then Pineapple, these are threes, or Michael Pina on Facebook, or email me, Michael, Michael, Pina 617 at yahoo.com, through email. I write the simplest ways of reaching out to me. If you message me, no matter who you are, no matter where, how, if what, but if you're reaching out and you take the time to reach out to me, bet I will take the time to reach out and see you wherever you are. You know, I think it's important that people were there for me. The way that I repay those people is not by giving them something back, but it's by paying it forward.
Yes.
So if you ever just need some to hear, a listening ear, I'm here for you.
Yeah. Now I have, wow, you really, it's just a lot to take in from your story because it's just so much amazingness. And I have so much love and respect for you, Michael. But now we have to get to the final question because Fusion Podcast is about having conversations, whether it's through, you know, experiences. Maybe I've had financial advisors on this show. I've had a music producer, Too Strong, on this show, and Gadiel, which I'm dropping tomorrow morning. And then
Ooh.
tomorrow it's going to be a double because of Latinx representation. So they're having a double trouble tomorrow. So it's going to be super cool to have that. People are going to be able to have the access to it. Gadiel's and yours. And it's just super amazing just to have Latinx representation here and queer at that. Come on now.
Yes,
So the question that I
everyone.
ask all of my guests is, what is music to you, and how has music helped you through your journey that you shared with us and just throughout life from beginning to end? And the most simplest way, what can you tell us about how you feel about music and how it might have possibly healed you, how it might have possibly been the reason why you are still here with us?
Yes, I
You
think
get
that,
as emotional as you want. Safe space.
yes. So music is so emotional for me, so emotional. Whenever I need a moment, I lean to music. So if I need a moment to cry, trust and believe I'm gonna wait for a rainy day. I'm gonna open up my blinds a little bit. I'm gonna turn on some Tony Braxton. I'm gonna be like, unbreak my heart, say you love me again, and just like start shedding a few tears because I'm creating the moment, you know. Or if I need some emo music, put some Evanescence on. Like music for me gives me so much life. And like then there's dancing, right? And making me feel like dancing is really one of those things where I feel like I can do good. um and when you see somebody doing something that they feel good doing, there's nothing that is more powerful in this world than like that feeling of like, oh wow, like they are in that moment right there. And it's not about whether they're doing it good or bad or whatever, but it's about like they're in that moment. And for me, music takes me there. Music brings me to those moments where like I'm untouchable. And I think that everybody deserves those moments where they can just listen to a song and know they're untouchable in that moment, whether they're celebrating, no matter what they're doing, they're in that moment. Just to close up, I remember my mom, when she was going through the divorce of my father, would park right next to the Charles River in Boston, and she would park her car right there, and she would play Lauryn Hill, the Fugees, right?
Ready or
And
not.
right, right. Mind you, mommy knew not one lick of English, but there was something about the music that was like, here I come, you can't hide. And she would just sit there and cry. And there was just something about that song that connected her and where she was and met her where she was at. And at that point, it was exactly what she needed. For me, like those moments that music's give me, like have helped heal me so much and helped me go through so much pain that I needed to let go, and then met me on the happy side when I was ready to celebrate. So I love music so much, and like I listened to a lot of like Monica and Brandy back in the day, The Boy Is
I
Mine,
remember
because
you told me that story. Can you share with us that story? I love this.
oh my God. So like when I was a little queer boy in the inside, like I would listen to Monica and Brandy, and I would put the little radio right next to the window in the little neighborhood. And whenever they'd be like, the boy is mine, I'd be like, the girl, the boy, girl, because I didn't want nobody to clock me for being gay.
Oh, yes,
Um,
yes.
but it was just like such a nostalgic song of like man, I really went through all lengths to cover up.
Right. I love that story when you told me. It made me giggle, but I'm like, what we have to do to feel safe when we were younger. It's just like, wow. And now we're here and you're able to really, you can say that boy is mine. Now you can
Mine,
sing it,
yeah.
right?
I
But
sure can.
but real quick, before closing, I would like for you to I invite you to close your eyes, Michael, right now. And if there's right now the higher, doesn't matter what you believe in, but the higher right now is here with us. And the good spirit is here with us. We're spreading love. We're changing lives together. And please, if you could just dig a little deeper than what you've already dig, so that you can inspire others who are listening to right now. Is there any last few words that your spirit is telling you that this is a must say in this podcast, so that they can change their lives or just change their perspective about something that may be holding them back? So right now, if you could just, I invite you to open up your eyes and just say whatever is on your heart and mind, and let's change lives.
I see you, no matter where you're at in your journey, wherever you are, whatever you haven't said yet. I see you when you're ready for your truth to be said or to be acted out on. We're here to love you. But I love you. I see you, and you're beautiful.
Wow.
That's what I got.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope everybody took that and breathe in. Breathe out. Super happy to have you here, Michael. Thank you for sharing this and for being in this space with me. I know it could be scary to do this, and it could be like, what do I share? But you gave us all of your heart. And all of the listeners out there, thank you so much for tuning in with us here at Fusion Podcast on episode number 8. Now, here to continue on with episode number 9, a little sneak peek of what's going to happen in next episode. We're going to have Mr. Chris Hypnotic, one of my mentors, who is overall an international entertainer, has started their own show, has done so many things in their life to pretty much be able to raise his family and his whole family. And I just can't wait for you to hear his story, because he has a powerful story on how he started at 16-year-old to host his own events and all that stuff. So we really need to hear amazing story, along with Michael Pina's story that I know has changed my life forever. And now next week we're gonna be able to hear Mr. Hypnotic, Chris Hypnotic. They call him Hypnotic, but you have to wait on why that happened. And it's not even about the drink. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned for his amazing story. So he's amazing, and I can't wait to hear his story. Again, he's one of my mentors who has helped me develop my business, Ace Fusion Entertainment, and has literally taken my Ace Fusion Entertainment to the next level like no other. So I can't wait to have him on the show. And but this is it. Thank you all for tuning in, and we'll see you on the other side.
DJ Ace is in the mix.
Girl, it's driving me insane, and I know I just need one more chance to prove my love to you. And if you come back to me, I'll guarantee that I'll never let you go. Can we go back to the days that love was true? Can you tell me how a perfect love goes wrong? Can somebody tell me
between me and you. I feel a chemistry. I won't let no one come and take your place. Cause the love you give, it can't be replaced. See, no one else, let me let you do. That's why I don't mind to spend my life with you. I wanna please you in any way I can. I wanna share my world, but don't you understand? Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long. Turn me inside out, make my heart beat. Need no one else, you're all I need. Personality, and everything you do makes me love everything about you. Your smile, your style is so fly, I can't deny. I got a crush on you, and that's true indeed. And I'm digging you, you make me believe that your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good feeling all day long. Your love is a one in a million. It goes on and on and on. You give me a really good
Baby, I see you working hard, wanna let you know I'm proud, let you know that I admire what you do. Don't know if I need to reassure you if my life would be purposeless without you. If I want it, when I ask you, you inspire me to be better. You challenge me for the better. Sit back and let me pour out my love letter. Let me help you. Take off your shoes, untie your shoestrings, take off your cufflinks. What you wanna eat, boo? Let me feed you. Let me run your bath water, whatever you desire. I'll squire, sing you a song, turn the game on. I'll brush your hair, help you put your do-rag on. Want a foot rub, want a manicure. Baby, I'm yours, I wanna cater to you, boy. Let me cater to you, cause baby, this is your day. Do anything for my man, baby, you blow me away. I got your slippers, your dinner, your dessert, and so much more. Anything you want, let me cater to you. Inspire me from the heart, ain't nothing tear us apart. You're all I want in a man, I put my life in your hands. I got your slippers, your dinner, your dessert, and so much more. Anything you want, I wanna cater to you. Baby, I'm happy you're home, let me hold you in my arms. I just wanna take the stress away from you, making sure that I'm doing my part. Boy, is there something you need me to do? If you want it, say the word. I'll try it. I know whatever I'm not fulfilling, another woman is willing. I'm gonna fulfill you, my body and spirit. I promise ya, I keep myself up, remain the same chick you fell in love with. I keep it tight, I keep my figure right. I'll keep my hair fixed, keep rocking the hottest outfits. When you come home, they tell me on my shoulder, I roll over. Baby, I heard you, I'm here to serve you. This love you need, to give it is my joy. All I wanna do is cater to you, boy. Let me cater to you, cause baby, this is your day. Do anything for my man, baby, you blow me away. I got your slippers, your dinner, your dessert, and so much more. Anything you want, let me cater to you. Inspire me from the heart, ain't nothing tear us apart. You're all I want in a man, a crazy way. Whatever it is that you do when you do what you're doing, it's a feeling that I want to stay. 'Cause my heart starts beating triple time with thoughts of loving you on my mind. I can't figure out just what to do when the calling here is you. I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control. Then something takes hold. In a day, it looks so amazing. It's not a face. I want you to stay with me. By my side, I swallow my pride. Your love is so sweet, it knocks me right off on my feet. Can't explain why your love it makes me weak. Time after time after time, I try to fight it. But your love is strong, it keeps on holding on. Resistance is down when you're around, price fading. In my condition, I don't want to be alone. 'Cause my heart starts beating triple time with thoughts of loving you on my mind. I can't figure out just what to do when the calling is you.
Listen. What can I do, girl? So much in love, girl. But your friends got you thinking, and it's affecting you. Don't listen, baby. What can I do, girl? So in love, girl. Wait for this moment. And I don't know what to do, 'cause I don't wanna lose you. No. What would I do without your love? Baby, it's heaven sent from above. So you don't believe what your friends tell you about me. I'm still the man for you, and I'm still the man that's true, and I'm still the man who's lucky, and I'm still in love with you. It don't matter what your friends do, they're just jealous of me and you. And I'll always keep you happy, 'cause I'm still in love with you. I'm still in love. I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to save me. This all and nothing really got away, you're driving me crazy. I need somebody to hear, somebody to know, somebody to have, somebody to hold. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you know the pain. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pull the rug. I was getting kinda used to being someone you love. I'm going under, and this time I feel there's no one to turn to. This all and nothing way of loving, got me sleeping without you. I need somebody to know, somebody to hear, somebody to have, just to know how it feels. It's easy to say, but it's never the same. I guess I kinda like the way you help me escape. Now the day bleeds into nightfall, and you're not here to get me through it all. I let my guard down, and then you pull the know that I can count on you. When that's not possible, tell me, can you ever stop? 'Cause I need somebody who will stand by me, yeah, through the good times and bad times. He will always be right there. Sunny days, everybody loves them. Tell me, baby, can you stand the rain? Storms will come, this we know for sure. This we know for sure. Can you stand the rain? Love unconditional. I'm not asking just of you. Girl, to make it last, I'll do whatever needs to be done. But I need somebody who will stand by me. When it's tough, she won't run. She will always be right there for me. Sunny days, everybody loves them. Tell me, can you stand? Can you stand it?
Chemistry was crazy from the get-go. Neither one of us knew why. We didn't build nothing overnight, 'cause a love like this takes some time. People swore it off as a phase, said we can't see that. Now from top to bottom, they see that we did that. Yes, it's so true that, yes, we've been through it. Yes, but we got rich. Yes, see, baby, we've been too strong for too long, and I can't be without you, baby. And I'll be waiting up until you get home, 'cause I can't sleep without you, baby. Anybody who's ever loved you know just what I feel. Too hard to fake it, nothing can replace it. Call the radio if you just can't be without you, baby. Yeah. I got a question for you. See, I already know the answer, but still I wanna ask you, will you lie? No. Make me cry? No. Do something behind my back and then try to cover it up? Well, neither would I, baby. My love is only up and up. Yes. I'll be faithful. Yes. I'm for real. Yes. And with us, you'll always know the deal. We've been too strong for too long, and I can't be without you, baby. Oh, and I'll be waiting up until you get home, 'cause I can't sleep without you, baby. If anybody who's ever loved you know just what I feel. Too hard to fake it, nothing can replace it. Call the radio. The boy is mine, the boy is mine, the boy is mine, the boy is mine, the boy is mine.
Excuse me, can I please talk to you for a minute? Sure, you look kind of familiar. Yeah, you do too. But I just wanted to know, do you know somebody named... You know his name? Oh yeah, definitely, I know his name. But I just want to let you know that he's mine. No, he's mine.
Mistake for your man.
Now sympathize, woman want good luck every night. Right up. Love a girl, Adi, step up.
She want a lover, man.
Action.
At a bag of mood.
Sweet.
Now we made the girl them broke out.
Action.
At a bag of mood.
Sweet.
Now we made the girl them broke out.
You think you are so fine.
Big chat no work, yeah, man, watch the time.
Stop playing with my mind.
Oh man, no in a joke when she will want the wine.
You call me on the phone.
I know what a talking angel come down.
And now I want you home.
I tell Jackie, girl, me nah use no stone.
Action.
At a bag of mood.
Sweet.
Now we made the girl them broke out.
Action.
At a bag of mood.
Sweet.
Now we made the girl them broke out.
I need some action, tender satisfaction. My chemistry is flowing. Can you cause a chain reaction? I need some action, tender satisfaction. My chemistry is
woman, you living too dangerous, too dangerous, too dangerous. Woman, I live dangerous. Sure.
Oh, woman, I heard a little rumor last night.
Little rumor last night. Rumor last night.
Somebody told me you ain't doing me right.
She wasn't doing me right. She wasn't doing me right.
While I've been turning my back, you've been no playing the field.
She does playing the field, playing the field.
Can you look me in the eyes and say to me it's not real?
Girl, that could not be real. Couldn't
That's
be
all I
real.
wanted to know.
Just wanna know, girl.
That look it's giving you away.
Give it away, give it away, no.
And I never believe in a single word.
I never believe in that.
You're living dangerously.
Woman, you're living too dangerous for me.
You're living dangerously.
Is it me about rent and leaving?
You're living dangerously.
Girl, you're living too dangerous for me. None of mercy, hey. Girl, you're living too dangerous. Oh, better if you give it up, girl. You never stop until you pass the maximum line. Well, don't you do too much? I need a relationship and not a war. Imagine this young man in a man car. Tell me what the hell you gonna think of her. She a man a drink out of one glass in a bar. Make man a rub things from me cookie jar. Girl, open up your eyes, the man look far. As I look up to the moon and the pretty.
Sing, 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 sing.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling,
sing.
Dance silent swing,
sing.
DJ ear stuck up in them ear bone rhythm,
sing.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling,
sing.
Skull bell a ring,
sing.
Knife and fork a fine for dumpling. Booyaka, booyaka, for Shabba ranking. Shabba ranks disappear with every another man change. So, them are the done to the biz, we have the key. Put the down to the key and turn them in a donkey. Yes, them are the done to the biz, we have the key. Put the down to the key and turn them in a donkey. Who they think they are? Yes, they can't allow me. I am the general in the DJ army. With not only I am cross all the T. And sit all the gal them tickle fancy. And anywhere we go, y'all gone crazy. Listen, ding-a-ling-a-ling, school bell a ring, knife and fork a fine for dumpling. Booyaka, booyaka, for Shabba ranking. Shabba ranking disappear with you another man chin. So, them are the done to the biz, we have the key. Put it down to the key and turn them in a donkey. Them are the done to the biz, we have the key. Put it down to the key and turn them in a donkey. You see, reggae dance all it comprise of wine. You see, now come to foot, girl, wine your body. You see, if you can wine, you hold your man and interrick. You see, back peer style when you see your mate. You see, neither try dress but your mate not ready. You see, your mate look like she a Bugs Bunny. You see, she a cartoon and she no bread. Girl, I get the loving, you I get the money. You see, come pop cars they full of quality. Till a lot of girls them gone crazy. How with the great Barbie girls them, like Jamaican girls them, and the American girls them, and the English girls them.
Blood vessel burst. Hey, you girl in the tight up shot. You speed up 10 more beats to me heart. Hey, you girl in the tight up blouse. Every time you pass me, you get me aroused. Hey, you girl in the jeans. Look on that, y'all. See what me mean? When me go cactus, me can't enjoy myself, me unconscious. Me hide them a pulp out, cause me no stop loss. Girl, you come first, man no stop rush. Hey, hey, so why that I feel print out? Me have to hide it in a me car wet tint out. Jeez, all the wine there, make the whole of Main Street crew go crazy. Jeez, you act like the sun and can't done. Every man see you well, waffy, have fun. Well, to all you look sweet, it hard for me do it, but me have to give me girlfriend bun. Hey. Oh no, oh no. Hey, hey, chop, hey, you
skirt. You make me head swell till me blood vessel burst. Hey, you girl in the tight up shirt. You speed up 10 more beats to me heart. Hey, you girl in the tight up shirt. Everyone fall in love sometimes.
Remember that girl.
I don't know about you, but it ain't a crime.
Hold on, hey. Question I ask. Tell me what you wanna, what you really, really wanna do. Tell me, baby girl, if your love is really, really true. Tell me what you wanna, what you really, really wanna do. Tell me, baby girl, hey, I know I'm like, no, yo, yo. If you really love me, let it flow, flow. And if you don't love me, let me go, go. What in the road, boy, I let you know that.
Everyone fall in love sometimes. I don't know about you, but it ain't a crime.
It's not a crime.
Everyone fall in love sometimes.
Bonnie.
I don't know about you, but it ain't a crime.
Hey, hold on. Hey, beep, beep. The singer got the key to the Jeep. And we pretty girl want to meet. So tell me what's up before me hit in the street. You see, all 8, 9, 10. The whole of them girl they want to be our friend. And you me really love. Why you want it for end? You have me brains a puzzle. Me can't comprehend. But then again.
Everyone fall in love sometimes.
Whoa, nah.
I don't know about you, but it ain't a crime.
Ball me a ball.
Everyone fall in love sometimes. I don't know about you, but it ain't a crime.
Hey, you want me to tell you something, girl? You want me to tell you something? Girl, you have me reminiscing. When me remember about your loving and
All right. Welcome back, everybody. This is Fusion Podcast here. DJ Ace, Fusion at Fusion Podcast. Thank you again for tuning in with us today. And I'm super, super excited for our next episode. So make sure you keep tuning in. Make sure to subscribe to Ace Fusion Entertainment, LLC on YouTube. And make sure that if you wanted to listen to just the conversation, you can just go to Anchor. And there's many, many platforms that you can subscribe to and listen to. But other than that, we'll see you on the other side. And next we have Chris Hypnotic. I'm super excited to have him here on Fusion Podcast, episode number 9. So stay tuned.